ready, ain't you?
Okay.
Good boy, Jim. Good boy.
That is faster.
Well, I grabbed her right. What do you think about the new O-ring inside that?
Oh, it's so much faster. I mean, the milk just comes.
Well, we've continually tried to strive to better the equipment all the time, and I always listen to what everybody has to say. And there was an extra space for that O-ring, but it's made a tremendous amount of difference. In fact, that 8-ounce bottle is just about full already.
Yeah, that's been less than 30 seconds.
Yes, less than 30 seconds.
Well, I like that. I guess you're not used to East Friesians that give quite a bit of milk.
Let's pull it down in there. It's starting. There we go. This is the new glass bottle. We finally found that'll fit the pump, and also with some special O-rings that we're having made for it. A lot of the sheep and especially the goat people have requested the glass because it's easier to clean, they say. But not only that, they're able to put them in the dishwasher and boil them. And you can't do that with our, and they're especially made plastic for our other bottles. What do you think about it, Sanford? It's, you know, quart bottle, it's filling pretty fast for a quart.
Yes, it sure is. And that's what we need with the dairy sheep. We go through the small bottle in about 30 seconds, as you saw in that last milking. We could probably milk out a sheep with this bottle and never empty it.
Yeah, I think you probably could. But with the new O-rings in there, it's making a tremendous vacuum also.
Oh, sure it is. You can see how fast our sack's going down.
So you pump that up again, and boy, just look at it run around into that bottle.
Yep.
Tip it back just a little bit, it'll put a little more weight on that, on the bag. Well, I'm very pleased with the way that glass is working.
Oh yeah, it's great. You have to work just a little harder to start the vacuum, but once it starts, it's there.
Well, yeah, because the volume is there. I mean, you've got.
But you're not changing out cups every couple of seconds either.
Well, that's true. And you've got 32 ounces instead of 8. And that's the size of your vacuum, so. This is sheep milk, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, it is rich. It's like half and half.
Yeah. Well, it's got twice as many solids in it as gallon goat milk also.
We have pasteurized, so we have to erase and pasteurize. That's wonderful. Absolutely. Oh, wonderful.
You know, people,
the good shepherd cheese and the sheep milk. We've had horse milk, now there's no end to what the Udderly EZ Milker can do.
you know, but people down through history, that's all they had were sheep and goats, and that's what they were interested in. That's very good.
It's excellent.
Yeah, excellent.
And even though it has twice the fat, the fat doesn't stick with you. It's highly unsaturated, monounsaturated fats, and the fat globules are so small your body processes them, it doesn't send them to your liver and hang on to them and everything. So it's much more healthy than cow's milk.
Oh, and all the hormones and the...
Well, good thing I don't live any closer. I'd be over here helping with chores.
Most people are surprised that they're afraid that it would have that goaty taste, like goat milk has.
One of the biggest deals too, people don't understand it, they're even milking their goats and stuff. You gotta get this stuff chilled ASAP.
Yeah.
And the quicker the better, you know? So that's just, but even though there's people been milking, you know, for years, they just don't understand that. So it's made a tremendous amount of, it makes a tremendous amount of difference to people.
And when we're milking, you know, you're always going to get a little something in the milk. Like we bring it in here, we've got our strainers and our filters and everything. Get that stuff out of the milk, get it, you know, get the milk strained, get it in here, get it cold. That stops any bacteria from growing and, you know, any added bacteria. 5 gallon cheese bag, I think that's the smallest I can buy. It's still be a commercial bag.
And that's 35 gallon?
Mm-hmm.
So the milk comes in?
Yeah, yeah. And this is a water jacketed vat. I got hot and cold water piped in right here underneath it. So I can bring the milk up to temperature, bring it up to 90 degrees, and then we'll add bacteria cultures to it. It's already got good bacteria in the milk since we don't pasteurize, but we add a certain culture to make it a type of cheese. And this is pretty much a microfilter.
Once that comes out, I always, before I throw it in the garbage, I wash it out. We were finding out there at the beginning when we first started milking and using those. We were coming into the, from this morning.
It's from this morning, yesterday morning, and the day before yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And so in the morning we'll make cheese. Oh, that's what we do. We gather up enough of the cheese.
And boil one of these.
Yeah. When we go to the cheese room, I'll tell you, I got a 35 gallon cheese bag. So when I get up to around 35 gallons a year, I need some cheese.
This serves not only as the milk for the bulk tank, but this is the cleanup room too. This is where I clean all the equipment and everywhere. Work is all this.
Like I said, I usually do about 6 or 7 a day, and then we do it twice a week. We've got about 140 wheels in there. These are the oldest. These are the oldest ones that are up here. They're ready to go, and a few of these are ready to go. And then they start oldest here, going that way, and then I started here again. And these are the newest. Since we don't pasteurize, we have to let them set for. That's the law.
But the longer the better the cheese.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be any good before then because
it has to go through that fermenting and aging process.
Yeah, these right here would be pretty bland right now because all they've had is the salt from the salt water that we put them in, the brine water, and so it takes a while for that to permeate and go all the way through to the center of the cheese. And every other day I'll come in here and I'll get half of tap water and mix it. And I'll just go through and wash all of these cheeses. And it builds up a salty coating on the cheese, which allows good stuff to start growing. See this? It's kind of like you got a garden on here, and you got to have your soil right first, and then you start getting the good stuff growing on it. And as it ages slowly, we're going back. As it ages slowly, it will start getting the yellow stuff growing on it.
So these are,
Brand new, yeah.
and they turn that way, and then they eventually get.
And they'll get a good mixture of white and yellow, and you see as you get back further this way, they get more and more growth on it, and a little bit deeper yellow and orange. When it gets to the real orange, that's a mold called Breviterium linens, or they call it bee linens.
This is some of the herb cheese here.
Yeah.
So basically then you have two different types of cheese that you make?
Well, really we have one type, just it's French Pyrenees, and we just add additives to it, like the smoked peppers, and then we add also the French herbs, but it's still the same cheese.
I certainly want to thank you for taking the time and having the courtesy and everything to work with us with the equipment here. And how long have you had the Udderly EZ Milker now?
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Right.
So actually you got it right after you started getting into sheep business.
Yeah, we had the sheep here for probably 3 weeks, and we had our first lambing, and we lost one of our lambs because it was cold and didn't have colostrum. So that's when we saw it in the catalog from the sheep company there, and we said we need an EZ Milker.
Well, Premier is one of our very top distributors and dealers, and we've had nothing but very good relationship with Premier, and I'm certainly glad that you contacted them to get the product.
Well, we were excited to get it because we decided right then and there that we didn't want to get any more lambs because we couldn't get milk into it. And since we've got the Udderly EZ, it's not a problem anymore.
Well, I'm very glad for that. We took some other shots while we were here visiting you this afternoon, and I see you have a reserve of the colostrum set up in your little ice cube.
Right.
That's a very good thought. A lot of people don't really realize that, but you don't have to thaw out a whole bottle.
Right.
You can take 2 or 3 ice cubes and get the sufficient colostrum into those babies right away, and then
it's fast too.
And it's fast.
Right.
Exactly.
You can warm up 1 or 2 ice cubes quicker than you can warm up a whole bottle. Then you don't have to throw the remainder of it out.
Well, exactly, and I think that. Well, I'm glad that you're using our product, and we've been on the market now, it'll be 7 years in November. So I've actually had as much to learn about this as a lot of people are using it. But just like with the advent of using the quart bottle that we just did a little bit ago.
Right.
But I try and listen to the clients. We put that extra O-ring inside the pump. You see how much more vacuum you've got?
Oh yeah, it's solid.
And and then it was the sheep people alone that had us go ahead. Every time you turn around and have to do a new mold of something, it's very expensive. But we went and brought the 8-ounce colostrum collection bottles in, especially for the sheep. But they're so handy now, I use them on my thoroughbred mares because they're just quicker. They don't take as much vacuum to pump up, and they're filled.
Right.
And normally any young, that's about 160 cc's anyway. And that's exactly when you're tubing the lamb, we get 8 ounces down into that thoroughbred foal or quarter horse or whatever we're using it on, but that's about the same thing that you go ahead and do with the, when you go ahead and use the tube and you tube the babies. So I want to thank you very much for using our product.
Well, thank you for your time. We really enjoy it.
And I got to tell you, this is the best sheep cheese that we've had anywhere.
Thank you.
And I wish you and Colleen all the success in the world because I know you're going to make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.